Hey, what's up guys? It's Greg with OM Gadgets back with another video, and today we are building a PC. I am very excited about this, as you can tell. Now, the reason why I'm building a PC and moving away from my Surface Pro 4 is because I do want better performance when editing video. So video editing is the primary concern when I picked out the parts. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go over the parts, I'm going to show you the build itself, and then I'm going to give a little bit of commentary when it's done. All the parts that I am using in this build can be found in the link below from PC Part Picker, so feel free to look there. This is a $1,800 or so build. I don't remember the exact final number, but check the PC Part Picker link for the details. So starting with the parts, we have our case. And one of the things that I wanted to do with this build was to make it a small, I guess box fell. Hopefully that won't break anything. But the case is a Fractal Node 202 Mini ITX case. It should house all the components just fine that I've chosen. And I wanted to go with a small case because I don't have any need to show off my components. I didn't want to get one of those big cases with a clear window. I just needed something to get the job done, to be as quiet as possible, and to take up as little room as possible. I actually plan to just put this under my desk. So I chose this case after doing some research on a good ITX case. So this does come with a 450 watt SFX PSU. And it was only about $110 if I remember correctly. It's a pretty good deal. So let me set that off to the side. And moving on to the processor. All right, this is the new KB Lake 7700k. All right, so this is an unlocked processor for overclocking. I do not plan to water cool this build, but from what I understand, I can still overclock if needed, and I plan to experiment with that once the build is done. Why did I go with an i7? Because I want to get as much video editing performance as possible, and to do that, you want to go with the fastest possible processor you can find. You can cut corners on the video card, because most video editing software does not take advantage of video processing power. So this is why we're going with the i7 for this build. Now, speaking of video card, I didn't want to go completely underpowered here, but this is a Gigabyte GeForce GTX 1070 mini overclocked version. So this is a 1070 that's made specifically for ITX builds. It's going to be about half the size of what a normal video card looks like with only one fan. So when we take a look at it and unbox it and put it into the case, it should look very good because it's not going to take up a whole lot of room in the Fractal Node 202. All right, what else do we have here? Let's go ahead and look at the motherboard. All right, so the motherboard I went with is the MSI Z270i, and really the only reason why I chose this motherboard is because it's the first one I could get my hands on that is compatible with the new KB Lake chips in the mini ITX form factor. The bells and whistles that come with it are basically everything I need. We have USB Type-C, we have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and all this other fun stuff. It's overclock friendly. From what I see, it has a fairly user-friendly BIOS, so that is the motherboard. All right, RAM. We have 32 gigabytes of G.Skill Ripjaws DDR4, what is this, PC 25600 memory. So video editing will eat up all your RAM when you're rendering video, so you want to stick as much RAM in there as possible. And in a mini ITX build, you only have 2 slots, and right now RAM sticks come in a maximum of 16 gigabytes. So we're going to have a total of 32 gigabytes in this build. This is the RAM I chose to go with. All right, so here is the hard drive, and this is nice because the motherboard does have an M.2 slot in the back. What's good for this mini ITX build is that I can just stick this 1 terabyte Samsung 960 EVO in there, and I don't have to put a 2.5-inch SSD nor a full 7200 RPM hard drive. This will probably let me have some room to play with when it comes to cable management, so this thing right here will really help me get out of a bind when I get into this build. Okay, almost to the end here. We have the CryoRig C7 low-profile CPU cooler. Basically, in a build like this, nowadays you have two options: this low-profile cooler from CryoRig, or a low-profile cooler that's available from Noctua. After doing some research, I decided to go with the CryoRig. I'm sure you could go fine with either option, but CryoRig is the one we're going with. And believe it or not, I will be able to fit a couple of case fans into this build. We have some Fractal Design Venturi HP12 case fans, which I will be mounting to the bottom of the case where the graphics card will be sitting, next to where the graphics card will be sitting. So that'll help keep the internal temperature of the system nice and cool. All right, so that's all the parts. Let's get into the build. Alright guys, so that's the build. It's finally completed. It took around 3 hours to do so because I haven't built a computer in about 6 or 7 years, and I'm very happy with it. I ended up not using the case fans that I showed earlier because I couldn't get them into the case. I couldn't find a way to mount them, and it's okay because after running the PC for a few hours, I see that the temperatures are pretty stable. So I don't think I really need those fans, and I will be returning them. Now, I am editing this video for the first time on this new PC, and I gotta say that Pinnacle Studio performs amazingly. Compared to my Surface Pro 4, it's just on a different planet. So this was a very good investment for me. So let me know, what do you think of the build? What do you think of my parts? What do you think of the time-lapse that I showed you? I would love to see your comments below, and feel free to follow me on Facebook for upcoming video information, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.